Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I'm Metaphysical Mia 33 and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. Whether you're joining live or watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. A huge thank you to my subscribers and of course a special thank you to the awesome mods that we have in the chat today. If you can hear me, can you please let me know by putting a number 1 in the chat or just letting me know, say yes, or drop your favorite emoji. Hi Fatima, welcome back, welcome. So glad you're here with us today. Okay, I just want to make sure everything's working on my end here. Can you guys see everything okay and hear okay? Everything's all good on my end here? Okay, thank you, Fatima. Okay, so Fatima can hear me. Wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to give it a minute or two just to make sure that we get everything going, because on my end here, looks like I might be having a little bit of a snafu, so allow me just one moment here. Okay, we're going to be doing something a little different today. We are going to start the new major and minor arcana. We're going to be doing one card a week, maybe two. Okay, let's see here. Sorry about this, you guys. Let me just try to get this to work for me here. I just want to make sure I can see you guys in the chat here. It looks like I'm having a little bit of difficulty, so let me see here. Okay, yeah, I don't see that you guys can see me. It looks like maybe we're having issues. Okay, so you guys can, all good. Okay, thank you so much, Fatima. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. We're just going to continue from here. Again, I thank you to everyone that has decided to join me today. Thank you. This is our first card we're going to be doing is the tarot, the full card. And today we're going to be going over the full card in tarot, which is kind of like, it's the ultimate symbol of a fresh start. This is the first card in our new weekly series where we're going to be going over one tarot card at a time, possibly 2 cards a week. We're going to do like a really deep dive, but in a way that's fun and simple and easy to follow. We're going to go over the symbols, the colors, the astrology, numerology, the elements, the archetype, the etymology, like where the word came from, where the full word came from, pop culture, the card combos, the timing, reversals, and even some myths and theories, and also the history that is tied to the tarot, to the full card here. So we are definitely going to go over it all. This is going to be a longer video, so definitely this is going to be a longer live stream, so get comfy and hang tight. If you're watching the replay, there is a ×2 speed is how I watch things to try to watch things, get more information quicker. So if you're watching the replay, you can always watch it at a faster speed. All right, so I'm also going to share how to use the card practically and how to connect with the energy intuitively when you see it come up. I do plan to go live 3 times a week, Tuesday and Thursdays at 3:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Saturday mornings on the weekends that I can make it at 9:33 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yes, we will be doing free mini yes or no readings as well. So go ahead and drop your yes or no question in the chat, and we'll get to them once we are finished with the comprehensive presentation of the full card. Okay, I'm just going to take a minute just to check at the chat just to make sure I have everything going well here. Okay, and welcome everybody. All right, so while we wait for the questions to come in, we'll learn a little about the tarot and the full card. Okay, so go ahead, again, drop your yes or no question in the chat. I'm just going to take a peek here. I don't see anything yet. Very good, and welcome. All right, so again, if you are ready, we'll go ahead and jump into it. Grab your lapis lazuli. I have one here, and I have one here. I've always got my lapis lazuli on. It helps you connect spiritually, and if you have one, go ahead and grab that so you can go along on this intuitive ride with us. All right, so let's get into the Fool. Okay, so what is the Fool card all about? Okay, this card is the number 0. Okay, let me start over though, because I did want to share with you that I'm going to be using several different books for visuals. This is an old book that my aunt used to have. She passed away when I was 18 years old. No, sorry, I was just barely 19. But I do have her tarot book, and I just thought it was so fun. I figured I'd bring it out since I was digging out all my tarot books and stuff. So I thought this would be a nice little one to just have with us today. I'll just set it to my side here. So I figured I'd show that there, just have her with us. And all right, so the Fool card here. Okay, zero it's see the zero here. I kind of put something up here, kind of doing it. I don't have the fancy presentation, so I just had a little paper up there. But anyways, the zero means a fresh start. See, there's the zero here, the full zero. Let me get a better lighting on that. Okay, so the zero there, number zero, and I got another deck here just to kind of give you another little reference there. So that zero is a blank slate. It really means like nothing's holding you back. There's that limitless potential. It's that open space before something new begins. And what's wild is if you take it next to the World card, right? So it goes from the Fool's journey is from the Fool to the World, right? And when you see the full circle here, you get the zero, and then you see the full circle there, right? And that connects us full circle to the World card, which is the final major arcana. So it's kind of like the Fool is both the start and the end. It's kind of like that open space before something new begins. And I love that we're starting and ending with that zero right there. So I figured I would just kind of pull that out to I thought that was really neat to share with you guys as well. Hey, Elvis, welcome, welcome. I'm not sure if you're caught up, but we're going over the Fool card today. We're doing an extensive review of a little presentation I put together for the Fool card. We're going to be doing at least one card a week, and we're going to be going through an extensive review for each card and eventually get through all of them. It's going to take some time, but we're going to do it, and we're going to learn a lot, and we're going to all feel connected, so that in that way, hopefully you guys will be able to read the tarot on your own and not even need me anymore. So anyways, on the card here, you'll see that there's a traveler standing at the edge of a cliff. Can you guys see that okay? Let me do my little handy dandy scroll in. Nope, that's not going to work. All right, well, let's do this here. All right, so you see he's on the edge of the cliff here, right? And there's a little dog jumping next to him. He's got a little small knapsack. Can you guys see that okay if I do it like that? And if you have a tarot deck of your own, go ahead and grab your Fool card, and you can look at it as we're doing this. So there's a little dog jumping next to him, a small knapsack on a stick, and a knapsack on a stick, and there's also that little white rose that he has in his hand, and also that sun shining behind him. The mountains in the distance as he looks up. You see that there? And this is the moment of total trust. It's like the second before you take a leap. It's when your heart is beating fast, but you know deep down that it's time, okay? The Fool is that pure, I'm diving in energy, okay? It shows up when something is brand new, something is just starting, like a relationship or a job or a move or even a mindset shift, okay? It does remind you to trust, to stay open, and let your spirit lead before fear takes you out of it. Okay, so it represents new beginnings. This card is all about a clean slate. You're stepping into something very fresh. It could be something small, again, like a mindset shift, or something huge, like moving to a new city or starting a new business. It could mean definitely saying yes to something that scares you, but in a good way, right? It's kind of like Dorothy stepping out onto the yellow brick road, leaving behind her gray Kansas for a full color adventure. My computer wants to stop. No, there we go. Okay, now I can see you guys. All right. I have you guys up on my computer, and it wanted to do restart, and I'm like, no, not right now. Okay, so anyways, so we're back at the Fool card here, and again, it's like that yellow brick road feel, right? Like Dorothy stepping out and leaving behind all that gray and just walking into that technicolor, right? And that's the Fool's energy. There's no baggage. It's just full potential. It also represents that innocence. This card brings up that feeling of seeing the world with fresh eyes, no judgment, no heavy past weighing you down. It's just that childlike wonder, curious, playful, excited to explore. It's like when you try something for the first time and it feels magical, like you don't know what to expect, right? It also has that feeling of spontaneity. Like the Fool is not a planner. This is about following your gut and saying yes on a whim and trusting that the path will show up, like booking a last minute trip or starting a creative project or following where your energy leads, right? Where energy goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, energy goes, right? So it reminds you not to wait until everything is perfect, because sometimes perfect never comes. Just take that leap, right? Take that leap of faith. This is a big one. The Fool is the moment that you jump and trust when that next net is going to appear, when you jump and you just know that you're going to be caught, right? You're going to be cradled. And whether it's a new relationship, a bold life change, or a spiritual awakening, it's about trusting that something bigger has your back. It's scary. It's also very freeing, right? And this is like the soul trust energy. Like just within your soul, you know that it's time to trust. When the Fool shows up in a reading, it's like the universe is just giving you that green light and saying, let's go, let's do this, right? All right. So now let's talk about the astrology tied to the Fool. Again, this is going to be a longer presentation. So just so you guys know, get comfy. We're going to go over it all. Okay. We're an extensive review over the Fool card. So we're going to talk about the astrology now that's tied to the Fool. The card is ruled by Uranus, and that's the planet of surprises and sudden shifts and rebellion and breakthroughs. And Uranus is that energy that says, forget the rules, be bold, be yourself, and flip the freaking script, right? It's like the universe is pushing you out of your comfort zone in the best way possible. It's that wild, unexpected, and very like super freeing when you allow it. And Uranus also rules Aquarius, which brings in that that visionary vibe, right? And Aquarius is all about freedom, individuality, thinking big, and doing things your way. So when you see the Fool, it's encouraging you to be authentic, even if it goes against what normal is, right? So you don't need to follow the crowd. You're being guided to create your own path. Like the Fool is also very connected to the element of air, which is all about your mind and ideas and inspiration and possibilities. And also, air is the breath of life, right? It's movement, it's freedom, it's that lightness, it's that intuitive thought that just drops in before you talk yourself out of it. It's that air energy that lifts the Fool like a breeze, like it's really saying like, keep going, even if you don't know where it leads, just keep going. Now, that is the Fool energy there. And that is, again, with the zero. And it might seem like nothing. Zero might seem like it's nothing, but it's actually everything. Remember, we were talking about the Fool card, or the World card here, right? So in numerology, the Fool card is tied to zero, which might seem like nothing, but it's actually everything. Zero is infinite. It has that infinite potential. And it's that space before anything begins. It holds that all possibilities. It's like it's not empty, but it is a container for that, where that magic starts, right? So in numerology, zero is that void before creation. It's that cosmic egg, the place where something is about to be born. It's like it has no limits, no baggage, no restrictions. So zero in the tarot also means that you can become anything. It's the first step before the path even forms. And it also reminds you that you don't need to have all the answers to begin. You just need to have that willingness and that trust. Okay, now let's go ahead and break down the colors of the Fool card. Let me just take a peek at the pack here, at the chat. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Hi, the healer. Welcome. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the colors now, okay? So with tarot, everything has meaning. The colors, the symbols, the numbers, everything, okay? It's tied to astrology. We're going to go over all of it, more than you even think is possible. We're going over all of it. So again, it's going to be a while, so sit still and be comfy. All right, so when you see the yellow sky here, I'm going to move the world card out of there because that doesn't belong there anymore. Okay, so the yellow in the sky, the sun, that's the fool's, like on the fool's boots there. And also he has little flowers. There's on his outfit there. He has some yellow on his tunic. So yeah, so the yellow background, it's really giving you that, like, I'm awake, I'm alive, let's go. Yellow brings in that joy, that confidence, and that clarity. And it's also tied to that solar plexus chakra, like that's your personal power center. It's your I got this energy. Some cultures do say that yellow means good luck, and others say that it means caution. So it's like trust yourself, but stay sharp. And the yellow lights, excuse me for a moment. Sorry, I had a little tickle in my throat. And this yellow, it really lights up the card like a fresh start, like you're stepping into something new. And then we have the green, and we see the green in his tunic there, and also on the ground there. And also he has a little wreath on his head there, if you can see. I don't know if you can see right there, like right there. You can see a little, let's see if I can get it a little better. Again, there we go. Okay, so if you have your deck there, go ahead and pull out your deck so that you can take a peek at all this and study it and feel it and get with the energy as we're going over this to kind of connect with it, right? So when we see green, that's all about growth and healing and that heart chakra and that heart energy. And it does connect with your heart chakra. All about love and connection and realness. And that wreath on his head, that means victory. Like you've already won by just showing up. And that green also means that you're grounded. Even if you're leaping into something big, this card says that your roots are still there. And in mythology, green ties to Gaia and nature. It's very earthy and fertile and alive. And so the green says, like, you're blooming, keep going. And then we have the white there. And the white in this card, like the little dog there, and we have the white sun, and we have the white on the mountains, the snow, and some on his tunic there. And that white represents innocence, it's clarity, it's that fresh start energy. It's also linked to the crown chakra, and that's your connection to your higher self and spirit. And that little white dog, that's your go with your gut, not your butt. You guys know I say that. So that's your gut instinct. Okay, that's your loyal friend. That's your unfiltered, real, authentic self, right? And that white rose, that's to love without fear. That's purity, okay? That white in this card really says, like, you're protected, you're good, start with a clean heart. It also ties peace and brings new beginnings, like weddings and rituals and spiritual stuff. So it, like, weddings are usually the white wedding dresses, so spiritually. So red, we have a little red here, and it can also look a little orange depending on how you're look at it here. But we have the red here on his tunic, and it looks like little wings here, like he's freedom. He's got his like bird wings to fly. A little knapsack. He's got the feather in his cap there. Okay. Also some little could be little flowers or however you want, little berries or something, or however you want to see it. Okay, and that shows up, that's fire. Red is fire. It's courage, it's passion, it's power. It's also connected to the root chakra. Okay, so that's your survival instinct, like your drive. And red says that you're grounded and you're bold and you're doing this. And it's also tied to Mars, right? The red planet, the action planet, that movement, momentum. If you get this in a reading, or if you notice that in a reading, again, red is your green light. Okay. All right. So then we have the blue, like we have in the mountains there, and it's really subtle. You can barely see it. It's way off in the distance, but it still counts, okay? So that blue is a very calming energy. It's linked to the throat chakra, your truth, your voice. It says, speak clearly, think clearly, you are aligned. even in all the chaos, the Fool still has that inner calm somewhere, okay? And then we have the Black. Let's pull this up a little more again. Got the Black there in his wand. I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go, okay? And the Black shows up in the wand and kind of the outside, like the outlines of the Fool's clothing and his pack there, you can kind of see like the Black outlines. And Black is representative of the unknown, right? It's that mystery, like the space before anything happens. It's not scary, it's potential. In alchemy, that Black is the beginning of transformation, and the Fool hasn't figured out everything just yet, right? And that's okay. And this color, the Black, is just saying like there's more to come, okay? And then we have the orange, right? Okay, it's in his tunic. You can see it, little bits and pieces. Again, you can see it orange or red. When the yellow and orange, or the yellow and red come together, sometimes it can create that orange in your mind. So you'll see a bit of orange in the trim of his tunic there. And orange is all about fun, creative, like that why not vibe. It's tied to the sacral chakra. It's about playfulness and joy and your expression. It gives the card some bounce, right? Some joy. It's saying like, let's do something now. Let's do something new, just because it seems fun, right? Okay, and then we have brown, and that again is in the wand there, and on the rocky ground below here as well. It's that earthiness, it's grounding, and it's that root energy that keeps the Fool stable even while they're about to jump off the cliff. And that brown is just saying like, you're supported, just take that step. Okay, so take a quick peek at the chat, and then we're going to go into the symbols there. Okay. Fatima says, this so resonates with what's happening me in my life right now. Oh, good, 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 good. I'm so glad you're here learning more about this. And again, if you guys have your tarot deck, go ahead and grab it and you can review this with us. So now we're going to go over the symbols in the full card. And because every little detail in this cards are packed with meaning, you guys, like everything. Like you don't have to memorize all of them, but just feel what stands out to you, okay, like what resonates with you. And these symbols are like little whispers from the card, and they're giving you more clues about the message. Like what I do is whatever my eyes are drawn to first, I know that that's what the message is going to be about, okay? So understanding the symbols really help to understand what Spirit is trying to share with you. And that cliff is about the Fool, like literally stepping off the edge of a cliff, like, and it represents a leap into the unknown. It's a reminder that sometimes the next step isn't visible. Like you have to just trust and leap, right? Just take that leap of faith. There's no visible bottom. Like it's really saying like, take that risk and have faith. Like if you see this in a reading, this often shows up when someone's about to start something new or bold, or something completely out of character, or taking again like a mindset shift. I don't know why, but that's like a tongue twister for me. All right, so then we got the dog. I don't know if you guys can see the little doggy here. Okay, little doggy, little dog. All right, so that little white dog is full of energy. Like he's barking out, go for it, go for it. And he can symbolize instinct and loyalty and spiritual protection. And some say that the dog is a warning and the Fool is not to fail, right? Like others say like he's cheering him on and like you're good, you got this. And it also can represent your intuition, your gut feelings trying to get your attention, okay? Hi, newbie me, welcome back. Yes, thank you so much. And thank you so much, you guys, for reminding people to hit the like and subscribe. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so to continue on, Newbie me's, it looks like maybe just joining us. We're going over the full card in depth. We're going through everything you can possibly, so get comfy because we're going to be here for a minute. So then we're going to talk about the knapsack there and this tiny bag over the shoulder. It looks light, but symbolically it's full of wisdom. It holds everything that the Fool needs, even if he doesn't realize it. It contains all the elements like fire, water, air, and earth. This is a reminder that you already have what you need inside you. Okay, you're not starting from scratch. You've got the tools, you've got the experience, and the intuition within you. Okay, and then we've got the little white rose there. You see he's holding there. And the Fool is holding that white rose in his left hand, and this represents purity, innocence, and the intention to follow your heart. It's not about just doing something new, it's about doing it with love and alignment. And in spiritual traditions, the white rose can also symbolize divine love and truth. Excuse me a moment, I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. Thank you. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the wreath and the red feather. So if you see here, he's got a little wreath on his head here. I'll try to get this to focus here. There we go. You can barely see a little wreath here, and he's got the little red feather there. Okay. And the green wreath on his head represents that victory, the growth, the wisdom. It's saying, like, you're ready. You've already come far. And the red feather, that means boldness. Okay, it's tied to passion and courage and willingness to try, even if you might fail. And then we have the sun up here in the corner. And the sun is shining on the top right corner, and that is divine guidance and support. It's lighting the path, even if the path isn't fully visible. It's like a sign from the universe saying you're not alone in this. Hey, Hatchet Boys, welcome, welcome. We're going over a full comprehensive review of the Fool card today. We're going through everything, the alchemy, the symbols, the colors, the etymology. We're going through it all, okay? So sit tight. We're going. It's going to take a minute, but we're going to get through it, and it's going to be extensive. And I just want you guys to get more connected with the cards and have a more understanding, so you guys can learn it on your own. So now we're going to talk about the mountains there. Okay. So the mountains in the background, you'll see they're like snow peaked there, and they represent future challenges or goals, and they're far away. So they're not what you're dealing with right now, but they're part of the bigger picture. They remind us that the leap is just the first step of something long term, okay? And then we have the ground and the grass here, okay? And the ground, the patchy grass and that rocky cliff under him, the Fool's feet there, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. Okay. And anyways, so it's really meaning like this is a real moment, like it's not fantasy. This leap is happening, and it's in real life, and the ground shows both stability and unpredictability, and that's the combo that's meaning like you're grounded but ready to leap. And then we have what we call the wand of will. There's a little wand here, right? The wand of will. The black staff holding the knapsack is a symbol of support and inner strength. Even though it looks simple, it's the thing that helps him carry his past and his wisdom forward. Some also say that this represents your willpower, what you lean on, and when you're feeling unsure, right? And now let's talk about what he's wearing, what the Fool is wearing, the clothing, the tunic, the sleeves, the patterns, okay? The tunic is full of symbols, flowers and sunbursts, and a vine-like pattern, and each one adds the energy, like the flowers equal growth, joy, and creativity. Energy, and the sunbursts equal optimism and inner power, and the vines on his tunic there, that means connection, life, and how we're all linked together. This isn't just a fashion statement, it's a visual message. The Fool is the full of life and energy, right? Then let's talk about his boots. The bright yellow boots, they're very bold, right? Like, I don't know if I'd wear bright yellow boots, but I mean, hey, to each his own, be yourself, right? So they're solid, which means that the Fool is completely unprepared, is not completely unprepared. He's got that protection. They show that even when you're taking risks, it's okay to be grounded and safe. And then the card's border, do you notice the white border around there, the frame there? That's like a spiritual container. It separates the moment from everything else like a sacred space. It reminds you that this is important. Pay attention. Now, let's talk about the mystical layers of the Fool, okay? We're going through it all, you guys. All right. If you have any yes or no questions, go ahead and drop it in the chat, okay? We are still doing yes or no questions. We're doing a comprehensive review over the full card with everything. Okay, no, so now let's go ahead and talk about the mystical side of it, right? The hidden meanings, the mystical stuff connected to the Fool. Like, you don't have to be an expert. You just need to know what makes sense, and then you the rest, you just take what you see. Like what I do is whatever I notice first in a card, and I know that that's what Spirit has for the message. So let's talk about the Hebrew letter Aleph. Here, I'll pull this up a little closer. You guys can see here. You can see that there. Okay. And that the Fool is connected to the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it's Aleph. Aleph means ox, and it's about raw life force and potential. It's the breath of life, the energy that comes before anything else existed. It's, in spiritual terms, Aleph is the divine spark, the first breath before creation. In Kabbalah, which is like a spiritual map, Aleph connects Kether, pure divine light, to Chakma, which means wisdom. And like I was saying, I pulled out some of my old books here, and I don't know if you guys missed it at the beginning, but I pulled out my aunt's book. She passed away when I was 19, so I pulled out her book today, and I showed it earlier, but it was interesting. So I was just going through my books. But anyway, so here is, I know, I'm not fancy with I guess I could, but I just do this on my iPhone, so I don't have it on my computer. I have all this stuff on my computer, but anyways, hopefully you guys can kind of get an idea there of the Kabbalah tree there. Okay, so that was kind of what I wanted to kind of show you there on how it goes with the Kether there. Okay, kind of give you a second to look how that, with the tree of life and everything, and how okay. All right, I know it's a little ghetto, but just wanted to kind of show you guys. I'll be pulling out, I have some of my books here that I'm going to pull out for you. All right. So we talked about the letter there, and how that in spiritual terms Aleph is the divine spark, and it's kind of like your soul's first aha moment, like when the spark hits and there's a new idea or a path is born. And again, that tree of life, it's the path 11 in Kabbalah, and the Fool travels the 11th path of the tree of life. This is the path from light to wisdom, from pure spirit into thought and creation. And that totally fits the Fool, right? Like, he's that spark that kicks off the whole spiritual journey. It's that first deep breath that you take before stepping into something big. And in alchemy, the Fool is linked to something called prima materia, the original substance that everything is made from. Think of it like raw energy that hasn't been shaped yet. It's messy, it's wild, it's full of possibilities. There's this, like where transformation begins, right? The Fool is also represents Nigredo stage, and that's the dark beginning before things come to light. So if your life feels uncertain or confusing, this card is saying, yep, you're in the middle of something real. Just keep going. It gets clearer. Okay, so some say that the Fool is ether. You've probably heard of the 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth. So some mystics say that the Fool is connected to a 5th one, which is ether. Okay, so ether is the invisible energy that holds everything together. It's like intuition, imagination, and soul all rolled into one. And so the Fool is being ether means that he doesn't fit into a box. He's bigger than just one energy. He's pure possibility and potential. And again, that symbolic 0 is that void before birth. And again, we see the 0 with the world card there. You know, we can end at the world and we start back at the full, right? And it's that 0 is also the womb of creation. It's not emptiness, it's where everything starts. Before there's something, there's 0. That's what makes the Fool so special. He's not nothing. He's anything waiting to become something. So the Fool, as the divine spark, this card represents your soul's freedom before it was shaped by the world. It's your spirit before fear, before doubt, before expectations. It's wild and wise, and it's in its own way very charismatic. Okay? It's when the Fool shows up, it's not just saying take a leap, he's saying remember who you are underneath it all. Okay? And in mythology, okay, I have another book. Tried to, let's see here. Okay. Tried to get some visuals here. Trying to make something for you guys to look at. So, with the mythology, the Fool is in legends all around the world. So let's talk about the mythology and some stories and legends from different cultures that totally match the Fool's energy. The Fool has been around in one form or another for centuries. A curious traveler, a trickster, a wild spirit, a holy wanderer, all wrapped up in one. These aren't just fun stories. They actually help us understand this card on a much deeper level. So there's Hermes, which is in the Greek mythology. And Hermes was a Greek messenger god, super fast, clever, and always on the move. He wore winged sandals, crossed between the worlds, and was a bit of a trickster, like the Fool. And just like the Fool, the Hermes was, he didn't stay still. He followed his own path. And also he helps souls cross into the unknown, which is totally the Fool's energy. Then we have Loki, and I was able actually to find in one of my books here. So I can show, so I don't get in trouble by YouTube. So that is an illustration of Loki there. And Loki's the ultimate trickster. He shakes things up, causes chaos, but also creates that change. And the Fool has some of that unpredictable energy, doing something wild that ends up teaching everyone a lesson. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side here for now. Okay. And then also, who else do we have? We have Icarus. He flew too close to the sun with wax wings. It was bold and dangerous, and he fell. And so this is kind of a warning, like the Fool's energy is beautiful, but it needs some balance, or you might burn out, right? So we have the wandering Fool, the sacred clown. So in some cultures, there's the holy fool or the sacred clown. And this is who seems silly, but is actually very wise. They challenge what normal says, things and others are afraid to say, and reminds us not to take life too seriously. And these characters are funny, but they also wake people up. A little side note, I was actually watching something the other day, just something that caught my eye on DMT, which I have not done, but I was just watching something on it, and only because it started talking about tricksters, and I was putting together this presentation for the Fool card, and I thought it was really interesting because they were talking about the trickster, and many people, when they're on DMT or psychedelics, they'll come into this clown or this trickster that will try to make them reveal themselves to shed those layers so they can do their shadow work. And that's really the Fool's energy, right? This trickster energy. So I don't know, just a little side note that I wanted to throw in there. I thought it was really interesting that that archetype would show up in DMT trips. So anyways, these characters are very smart, very wise. And again, the Fool in myths show us that being different, being brave, being open, these are sacred things, even when the world doesn't really understand you. Now let's talk about the archetype of the Fool. Like, who is the Fool really? So we're talking about the archetypes. And that's just a fancy word for big universal personalities or patterns that show up in all of us. kind of like roles that we play at some point of in our life. And the Fool, he shows up in a bunch of them. And this card isn't just one thing, it's a mix of powerful symbols that live inside all of us, whether we know it or not. So let's go through the main archetypes connected to the Fool. Okay, we have the Seeker. And this is the one who's always curious, always asking what else is out there. They're not scared to leave the comfort zone. They follow their own path, even when they don't know where they're going. The Fool, as the seeker, is chasing truth, freedom, or even a fresh start. Even if you don't know what comes next, you go anyway. And then we have the archetype of the innocent. This is like a childlike energy. It's pure, open-hearted, full of wonder. The innocence doesn't need a plan. They trust people, they believe in good things, and they move through life with hope. It's not about being naive, it's about being powerful. So because the world tries to make us hard, this archetype really reminds us to stay soft. And then, as I was talking about earlier, the trickster, and this archetype is a rule breaker. It's a mischief maker, but not in a mean way, more like a person who really stirs the pot and makes people think differently. They're funny, they're weird, and sometimes very unpredictable, but they do bring truth through the chaos, right? And they usually know something that you don't. That is also the Fool's energy. So there's also the archetype of the wanderer, and there's no map, there's no timeline, just vibes. This is the traveler's energy, like you're not lost, but you're choosing to roam, follow your own rhythm, and go wherever spirit leads you, right? And sometimes you're the wanderer when we've left something behind or we haven't landed something yet, right? It's a very uncomfortable but exciting feeling. And then we have the Holy Fool. And this one's deep. The Holy Fool looks silly on the outside, but inside, they're tuned into something bigger. They don't care about status or being normal. They're connected to truth, and spirit is, in a way, this Holy Fool is a spirit in a way. It's a way that most people aren't. Like, it's very truthful. And like, think about like monks or mystics or saints or even rebels who walk their own path no matter what, like that sacred Fool energy. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick peek at the chat and then we'll go over the pop culture. Okay, so we got Hatchet Boys. Fatima, will I be having a new beginning in my life, career, relocation, love life, everything's stagnant in my life? We will definitely ask the cards for sure. Hatchet Boys, I've been sick for the past few days. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm sending you healing vibes, healing vibes, healing. Let's all send the Hatchet Boys some healing vibes. I'm so glad to have you here. So glad that you're sharing your time with us. 7 people here. Yes, please hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps to grow, and helps to get messages out to people as well. Okay, I'm going to take a quick sip of my water, and then we'll go over the pop culture, okay? Okay, so let's talk about the pop culture. I told you, we're going over it all. We're going over every single possible layer that my brain could possibly think of. There's a lot more. So there's so much more, but I just, like I said, I wanted to do it in depth, so hopefully you guys can learn to read tarot on your own. So we've got the Peter Pan energy, right? The person that never wants to grow up, follows joy, lives in the moment, that total Fool energy. We've got Bilbo Baggins, steps out of his cozy little home and ends up in a huge adventure. Then there's Jack Sparrow, looks chaotic, but always has the right instincts. He trusts himself. And then, of course, Ferris Bueller, living his best life with zero regrets. That leap now, think later vibe. And another side note, I saw a quick little video the other day about Ferris Bueller. It made me laugh. It was like, what if Ferris Bueller was just doing Groundhog's Day and he knew what was coming up because he has lived this life or this day over and over and over. And when they put it in that perspective, it was like, whoa, that was different. Excuse me, I have someone ringing my doorbell. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I hope I didn't lose you guys. Okay, it was we had a water main break down the street, and I guess the city is handing out cases of water, so they just brought us a case of water because we have no water, and I luckily. Anyways, moving on. Whew, I had to run upstairs real quick, catch my breath. Okay, I'm gonna take a minute to check the chat and catch my breath. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. That's never happened before. All right, moving on. So yeah, so that was a really interesting thing that I saw about Ferris Bueller. So anyway, when you pull the full card, it might be showing you one of these archetypes that's active in your life. Ah, okay. All right, now we're going to talk about the practical uses and what the full means in real life readings. If you guys are still with me, please let me know in the chat. Oh my goodness, that was like, it kind of threw me for a loop there. Whew, I gotta center myself here. Whew. All right, let's do that. Let's take a second to center because that really threw me off. There's my. Okay, Elvis is still here. Thank you, Elvis, for hanging, because that was a great. That was never. I even have a sign on my door, not to knock or ring the doorbell, because the dogs will bark, and I work from home on the phones. So, but yeah, I think it was really nice that they're handing out waters. What a blessing. All right. So let's talk about the practical uses. All right. So the full actually means when it pops up in a reading, whether it's for love, work, money, health, or your spiritual path, the card's got something to say. It's not just new beginnings. It's a whole vibe about trusting yourself, trying something new, and letting go of control. So let's go through each area, shall we? Oh, Fatima's still here. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So in love readings, the Fool can show up when something new and exciting is about to start. This could be a brand new relationship, meeting someone unexpectedly, or even bringing a fresh spark to your current connection. It's that kind of energy where you just follow your heart, even if it doesn't make sense on paper. It's also a reminder to let go of that past baggage and come in with an open heart. But it can also be a little heads up, like if someone's acting careless or not thinking things through in love, like are you jumping into things too fast or ignoring any red flags? Like this energy is fun and playful, but it still needs that honesty and awareness. And in a career or a work reading, this could mean a new job, a business idea, switching careers, or just finally saying, I'm doing what I actually want to do. Like the Fool here means like you're probably at the start of something. It might feel like a big leap, but if it lights you up, that's your sign. It also means that getting out of a stuck mindset or taking a risk that you've been avoiding. Trust your gut and go for it. Be smart about the steps though. And if it shows up in reverse, you may want to double check your plan first or don't quit your day job just yet. So we're also going to go over the reversal meaning later on. Okay. So in the money readings, this card is about trusting the process, maybe investing in yourself, your goals, or a new stream of income. It's not a get rich quick energy, but it's more about like believing in your ideas, taking that first step, letting go of fear. It can also mean spending money on something spontaneous, but be mindful, especially if it's in reverse. It's about trusting yourself, not throwing all of your coins off the cliff, right? So in health readings, which I do not do, but just informing you. The Fool usually brings in light movement, or brings in light and joy and movement. It's a reminder to not take everything so seriously and to move your body in ways that feels good, right? This could be trying a new workout, going outside more, or even just dancing in the kitchen with your dog and to shake off stress. That's what I do. She loves to dance with me. She's so funny. Anyways, it can also be a nudge to release that fear around your health and trust your healing process. And if you've been overwhelmed, this card is like, let it go for a walk, and breathe, right? And in spiritual readings, this one is my favorite because, of course, spirituality. The Fool is about trusting your path, even if you have no clue where you're going. It's the moment you say, I'm ready to grow. I don't have all the answers, but I'm still showing up. It's also about that surrender, letting spirit guide you and allowing the journey to unfold. It's like you're showing up for a reading. If it shows up in a reading, it's like someone's going through a spiritual awakening. It's saying you're on the right path, even if it feels scary or unclear right now. So overall, the Fool is definitely a big yes to trying something new, a reminder to trust yourself and your intuition, and to it's definitely a push to take that leap, even if your hands are shaking. But it's also that gentle reminder to stay grounded, plan when you need to, and don't lose your center in the process. This card isn't telling you to be reckless. It's telling you to be real, to be brave, and say yes to what's calling your soul. Now, when the card is in reverse here, and we're about halfway done, you guys. I'm telling you, it's going to take a minute. I hope you guys are still with me here. Oh, the healer's still here. Good. All right, so the Fool in reverse, what does it mean when it's upside down? Okay, so let's talk about that. What happens when it's upside down and it shows up in reverse in a reading? It's still about that new energy, but there's a little bit of a warning attached. It's kind of like the universe is saying, hey there, slow down and check your shoes before you leap off that cliff. Okay, so let's break it down a little bit more, okay, for the reversal. So that recklessness, instead of that fun, spontaneous vibe, the Fool reversed can mean that someone's being careless, jumping into something too fast without thinking it through, like starting a new relationship before knowing the person, quitting a job without a backup plan, spending money on a whim or regretting it later, regretting it later. If you see this card in a reading in reverse, it might be time to take a pause and reflect before jumping in. You can still take that leap, but just take a look first. Okay, and it also has that, sometimes when it's reversed, the Fool can also mean the opposite, like you're too scared to move. And it's that feeling of being stuck on the edge of a cliff, frozen by the what ifs. And you know something's calling you, but you keep second guessing. So the message here might be, it's okay to be nervous, but don't let fear stop your growth. You don't need to know the whole plan. Just start with the first step, one step at a time. And so this is your nudge to stop overthinking and trust yourself a little more. It also can represent those missed opportunities, like you keep saying no to things out of fear or doubt, or just waiting for the perfect time. And the Fool reversed is like, hey, life is knocking. Are you going to open the door or not? I just had someone knock and give me water at the door. That was so random. Anyways, so in a spread, it could be asking you, are you avoiding something that could really help you grow? Are you hesitating because of fear or because it's truly not right? It also has that escapism or avoidance when it's in reverse. It's like you're avoiding real life stuff. And you're like, it's kind of like when you're scrolling all day to avoid responsibilities or making jokes instead of facing your emotions, or ghosting situations that actually need resolution. It's like the card is saying, hey, it's time to get grounded again. So if this pops up in reverse like that, this is just a reminder, like, am I really trusting the path or just running from the hard stuff? Okay, so this might be one of two things. Either you're leaping without thinking, or you're just not leaping at all. Either way, the Fool is asking you to check in with your gut and be honest with yourself. It doesn't mean bad. It just means that something needs a little more awareness. So the Fool in reverse like that is you're driving with your eyes closed, or you're parking out of fear forever, right? So no one gets you where you're meant to go but you, right? So neither one of them. Did this freeze? Okay, I don't know if I think it glitched out. I don't know. Anyways, let's move along. So let's talk about what the Fool means in 2025. It shows up in the real life right now in our world of 2025. I'll switch those over again there. And this card is so current, and honestly, it feels like the energy of a lot of us that we're in. We're in a time right now where more and more people are saying, I don't want to do life the traditional way. I want something different. And that's totally the Fool's energy. Like, you quit your job and you finally go in on all your business ideas, or you post your art, your voice, your truth online. And for the first time, you take that spontaneous trip, even if it makes no sense on paper. You start over in a new city or a relationship with nothing but hope and your instincts. And it's also that brave moment where you say, I don't know exactly how this will go, but I'm ready to try. Social media is full of the Fool energy. New creators popping up all the time, people launching their own spiritual brands and sharing their stories, their skills, their silly sides. Even when it feels scary, the Fool definitely shows up when you're ready to be seen, or for who you are, your authentic self, you're real, open to what comes next. So mentally and emotionally, a lot of people are waking up and realizing that they've been living in someone else's version of life. Like, the Fool is like your inner voice saying you're allowed to start fresh, you're allowed to change your mind, and you're allowed to follow that whatever it is that lights you up, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a break, and I'm going to take a quick sip of my water here. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I had some other bookmarks in there, but I used the old paint things. I don't know what happened they fell out. Anyways, so now we're going to talk about cultural variations of the Fool in different tarot decks, and like all around the world and across time. Just like people tell stories in different ways, the tarot decks show the Fool in different ways, in different styles, but the core message always stays the same: new beginnings, trust, and freedom. So with the Rider-Waite, which is this card here, let me get these here. Okay, so with the Rider-Waite here, this is probably the version that most of us know, and it's the only one we're going through today with all the symbols and the colors. The yellow sky, the cliff, the white dog, the knapsack, the rose, all that. It's bright, hopeful, and full of optimism. And this version really leans into the idea of trusting the unknown. It's the version that inspired most modern decks, and we'll go into that in a moment as well. And then we have the classic. I don't know if you guys can see these very well. So yeah, this is another one of my books just give them credit. Okay, so one of these days maybe I'll do like a computer presentation, I don't know. But in the Martial deck, which is a much older version from France, the Fool is called Le Mat. And this one, it's a little different. The figure looks more like a wandering drifter than a joyful adventurer. And sometimes there's a dog biting at their clothes. There's a little more mystery, maybe even some chaos. And this version doesn't have a number. It's kind of like it floats outside traditional order. So it's got that like wild card vibe. Like, it doesn't play by the rules at all. Very Fool-like. And side note, a regular deck of cards, the Joker card represents the Fool. Okay, just for future, so you guys know. And then, like, say in the Light Seers deck, this is just that I've got tons of decks, but I know just trying to pull the ones that people are most familiar with here. So with the Light Seers deck, that one's one of my favorite modern versions. The Fool here is standing on the edge of a cliff with a sky full of stars, and there's a butterfly flying near them, and that's the symbol of transformation. It's very modern and magical and totally relatable. And this version adds more of that soulful, spiritual awakening feel. It's less about that cliff and more about following your higher calling. Some decks are tied to indigenous or nature-based decks, and in these nature-based and indigenous, it's a hard word for me, indigenous, it's a word for me to say for some reason, so, I don't know, whatever. So anyways, you might see the Fool as a young spirit or a child of the forest, surrounded by animals or guided by ancestors, connected to the land, the stars, and the rhythms of life. And these versions remind us that being foolish can actually mean like being deeply wise, and because you're in tune with life, not controlled by fear. And again, that court jester archetype, and in some older and European style decks, the Fool is more like a jester or a clown, someone who speaks truth through playfulness. They make people laugh, but they're not silly. They're wise in disguise. This reminds us of that the times when the one who looks foolish is the one who's really paying attention. Right, so I'm gonna, I'll just leave these here if you guys want to take a peek at that. Okay, so how, depending on the deck that you use, the Fool might show up as a happy traveler, a wild wanderer, or even a mystical child of nature. Might be the Fool always brings that message of new beginnings, trust, and magic, not knowing what's next. And some decks are more joy, some show more chaos, but it's all about taking that step forward. The element of the Fool card is air. And why air? It's all about thoughts, ideas, inspiration, movement, freedom. So it makes perfect sense, right? That the Fool is free-spirited, curious, and always thinking ahead, that light, breezy, unpredictability energy. It's like that wind at your back pushing you forward before you even realize that you're moving. And what air feels like in a reading, if the Fool shows up and you're feeling that airy vibe, it could be saying like, don't overthink it, go with the breeze, let your ideas lead you somewhere new. And this is about that freedom of possibility, right? It can also mean like you're being too scattered. That's what, like airhead. Okay. And let's see, what else can we talk about there? The Fool's shadow side, what to watch out for. We've talked about the good stuff, the excitement, the trust, the freedom. But like every card, the Fool has a shadow side too. It's not to scare you. It's just something to be aware of, especially when this card shows up in reverse. We did talk about some of the reversals, but like the recklessness and being naive or blindly trusting and avoidance and that escapism. And that shadow isn't bad. It's some insight. It's just to know, to show you the full picture, and just not all the pretty parts, but show you the real parts as well, right? So the artistic influence and how it came to be. We'll talk a little bit about the let me close this book out here. I'll stick these back out there. So anyways, it can be inspired, it was inspired by artists, writers. In art history, in old school paintings, the Fool showed up as the jester, the wanderer, and the wild card, like I was saying in a regular deck of cards. In medieval times, artists used the Fool to challenge authority or speak truth in sneaky ways. Think of those old paintings where the jester is the only one telling it like it is, right? Like that's the total Fool's energy, right? And every artist who ever made a tarot deck has their own take on the Fool. Some make them look like travelers with a backpack. Others, like here, just carefree and just spiritually releasing, right? And this card shows up in all kinds of art and chaos, freedom, self-expression, all rolled into one. So when you see the Fool in someone's reading, especially if they're creative, I always say, like, go make something, even if it's weird, especially if it's weird. So in pop culture, I think we talked about Ferris Bueller, and yeah, we talked about that. talked about Dorothy. What else can we talk about? Oh, here's a good one that I put in my notes here. The Fool card, biblically, this goes really deep here, right? So the Fool card also connects to faith, trust, and spiritual surrender in a lot of different traditions. This isn't about religion necessarily. It's about that soul trust, that leap of faith energy, that full for spirit vibes, that and universal across traditions. In Buddhism, there's like that. Someone who walks the spiritual path for the good of others, even if it's uncertain. In Christianity, you can look at someone like Noah. He built the ark with no proof, just faith. And people thought he was crazy, but he trusted something bigger and followed through. And that's the kind of leap of faith against what makes sense. It's that total full energy. Okay, and the historical, let's just take a quick time travel moment, just real quick, and then we're almost done with this, and then we'll get into your readings. So, anyways, just a real quick time travel moment. Tarot didn't just show up out of nowhere. The Fool card has been around for a long time. There's a long backstory, and it's kind of fascinating once you realize how far it's come. The Fool started out in the 1400s in Europe as part of a card game. It wasn't spiritual back then. It was just a wild card of a deck, and literally the Il Metto in Italian, I don't speak Italian, so forgive me. That means the madman or the crazy one. And it could show up anywhere in the game and mess up the order. It didn't follow the rules, which honestly, that already fit the energy of the Fool card today anyway, right? And fast forward to the 1700s, tarot started getting used to more spiritual and more symbolic stuff, and people began seeing the major arcana as stages of life or spiritual path, and the Fool was moved to the very beginning of that path. So now the Fool wasn't just the wild card, it became the starting point for self-discovery and awakening and transformation. Then in 1909, the version most people know, the Rider-Waite-Smith that we have here, was created in 1909 by the artist Pamela Colman Smith under the direction of Arthur Edward Waite. So that's why it's the Rider-Waite-Smith deck here, also known RWS. And this is the one with the yellow sky, the cliff, all that we went over. And this is when the Fool really became a story, not just a card, a moment, a calling, a mood, right? So let's see what the psychological insights. So let's get a little bit more into the inner stuff, right? The Fool is not about what's happening around you. It's also about what's going on inside you, how you think, how you feel, how you show up when these things are new or scary or exciting, like that inner child energy, that version that still gets excited about life, that still believes in magic, that possibility, the big dreams. It's the part of you that says, let's just go for it. It also has that beginner's mind, and it has that, like, let's just do it. And you just need to be willing to try. It's that mindset of powerful, and it really helps you to learn, to grow and heal. And it's also, again, with that risk versus fear, right? Like, what, it's absolutely amazing. It's the part that wants you to leap and the part that wants you to play, but play it safe, right? Like, that tension is totally normal. And honestly, that's usually how you know something truly matters to you. So if you've ever had butterflies before doing something new, that's the Fool's energy, right? If you've ever said, I have no clue what I'm doing and I'm doing it anyways, that is the Fool's energy. So congratulations, you've already been the Fool. I'm the Fool every day. This card is also asking, like, what would your inner child do right now? Is if the fear wasn't there, right? And it's also that call to adventure. It's that first spark, like, hey, let's just go do it. It's leaving the familiar and going with the unknown. And the planetary here, I'll make this up a little bit closer here for you guys to see. I don't know if you can see that very well. But the planetary symbol that's tied to the Fool, so when we say the Fool is ruled to Uranus, that's not just astrology talk. It's also this glyph, or this little symbol that has a little extra meaning. I don't know if you can see that there. Let's stick that there. And it's a circle with a cross under it and the two little curves on the side, almost like a little satellite dish. The circle is a spirit, is the spirit or the sun and universal energy. And the cross underneath is the material world, the earth, the structure, the reality. And its little curves on each side, those represent open channels, like antennas picking up the divine downloads. And some versions also have an arrow pointing upwards, showing the rising above limits, awakening, and rebellion. Okay, so I'm going to pass some of this because I have so much here. I was just having so much fun putting all my notes together. And let me just see anything here that I think that I've skipped. Let's talk about the etymology. I love etymology, like where the words come from. And this part's kind of fun. And I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. Just I don't know. I'm used to homeschooling my kids, and they're like, "Okay, mom," But that was years ago. But I just love to learn, and I love to help others learn. And so, anyways, let's talk about etymology. I love etymology. This is where the word comes from. The word "fool" it comes from and what it meant back in the day, right? It didn't always mean silly or dumb. It got layers. It has tons of layers, and they actually make a lot of sense when you really put the energy of this card. The Latin roots of the word, the fool, is follis, that's Follis, and the word fool comes from Latin, follis, which literally meant a leather bag full of air. So yeah, kind of like full of hot air, but also light and buoyant and not weighed down. And that totally matches the energy of the Fool. And this card also shows someone who's light on their feet, free from that heavy baggage, just floating on that trust. And in Old French, it's Fol. It became folle, Fol, which meant someone who acted outside of norms, not just dumb, or sorry, not dumb, just different, a little wild, a free thinker. And this is where the idea of the jester or the holy fool comes in. And the jester might have been laughed at, but often they were the ones that were very brave and actually spoke the truth. And in tarot, the fool means freedom, as we know. So when we call this card and we see this card, we're not saying it's all about stupidity or carelessness. It's about that raw freedom and someone who's not stuck in society's rules and someone who's open to new experiences and that beginner's mind, right? So basically, the fool didn't mean stupid. It meant free. Someone lighthearted and open and not stuck in the rules, and someone that's it's very empowering. It's very empowering energy, right? Like, so next time someone calls you a fool, just say, "You're right. Yep, that's me." All right, so I can also go into the art and some music stuff that I found on here that as I was doing my research. I think I'm going to skip some of this. But let's talk about the timing of the card. The Fool is often tied to the spring, specifically the spring equinox, that time when everything starts to bloom and shift and energy feels lighter. It's that new season, that new start energy. The air is changing, the nature's waking up, and so are your dreams. So think like March or April, like around the time that we're in now, but it doesn't have to be that calendar thing, right? It's all about the energy of renewal. So in a reading, the Fool usually means soon or right now. It's not about waiting months. This is the moment when the spark hits. It's the feeling of, I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but I'm doing it. And it's if it's showing up in the past, it may mean that you've already taken that leap, and if it's in the future, get ready. Something brand new is lining up. And here's a little intuitive tip. The Fool is one of those cards that doesn't like to be boxed in. It's very spontaneous. So if you're getting this card a lot and wondering about timing, it might not be the date at all. It might be when you feel brave enough. So the Fool's timing is kind of like a spring, fresh, exciting, and full of possibilities. If you're getting this card, ask yourself, what's calling me right now? That's definitely your sign. So let's talk about when it shows up with other cards, okay? So when we get to, say, the Fool and the Magician, let me just scooch this one over here. That one, they're friends. There you go. Okay, so when you get like the Fool and the Magician, the combo is very powerful. It's like you've got the Fool with fresh start and the Magician with the skills to back it up. And together, it's like you've got the idea and the tools, so stop stalling. It's saying take that leap and trust your ability to pull it off, right? So the Fool's ready to jump and the Magician's like, we can do this. I know how to do this. All right, so let's do, we have, let's do the Tower. It's a big one. Okay, so the Tower, this again, you got that Fool ready to jump, and the Tower saying, brace yourself. This one means you're leaping into something that'll totally shake up your world. Not always bad, but definitely disruptive. Sometimes it means you're not ready or that the leap might cause some fallout. So think of this combo kind of like that bold move that's going to free you or blow something up. Not literally, my friends. All right, so what happens if we put the Lovers and what happens if we put the Lovers and the Fool together? This one's pretty spicy. This can mean a new relationship. Can come out of nowhere. It could be a big decision in love. The Fool says go for it. The Lovers say choose your heart. And the combo really shows up when someone's about to take a risk in love, like confessing feelings or going all in. And together, this could be new love or unexpected connections or a soulful yes. And we'll just do one more. How about, let's do the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see here. Okay. So we'll do the Wheel of Fortune there. And I love this one because it's all about that fate and freedom, that destiny moment, and the Fool's leap, the Wheel's timing, and this combo is really saying like things are shifting fast, and if you leap now, the doors will open, but also that things are a little bit out of control, so just flow with it. Just roll with it. Should we do one more? Let's do one more. Let's do the Hermit. Got to do the Hermit. All right, this will be the last one that I do combinations there. So the Hermit there, that one's a little quieter, right? The Hermit. And the Fool wants to go out and explore, but the Hermit's like, slow down, go inward first. So together, this will mean or could mean that you think you're ready to leap, but maybe it's time to take some you time to meditate or take some time to reflect, some deeper reflection before you take that jump. So when the Fool shows up with another card, definitely pay attention to the vibe shift. Who's leading the dance? The Fool wants you to leap, but the other card might be saying, hey there, slow down a bit, take a chill pill. All right. We can also like go into like Christopher Columbus, that's kind of the Fool's energy, sailed off into the unknown with that zero clue where he was going, the Joan of Arc, the court gestures, even Amelia Earhart. We kind of went over the tarot's evolution and where that, okay, I kind of just went a little redundant here. I just get so excited putting presentations. I'm like, I want to learn everything. All right, excuse me. Okay, sorry. Let's see here. All right. Alrighty, I think we got through it, you guys. I think we did it. Yay! Give yourself a round of applause for hanging out with me that long. My God, that was crazy. Love it. I hope you guys learned a little something more about the Fool, a little more deeper detail. And we're gonna do the Magician next week, and we'll go on. And I know that there's how many weeks in a year? 52 weeks in a year. We're definitely not going to get through all of them in a year, but maybe I'll do more. Maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'll do. I don't know. I'd like to give as much possible information. Maybe once we get to the minor arcana, I can do 2 cards per live and do 4 cards a week or something. So yeah. So drop in the chat a time when you felt like you were in that energy of the Fool. And also, I will go ahead and take a look at the chat and see what questions we have, any yes or no questions. And just a little reminder, I will not be answering any medical or severe financial or legal advice. And let's take a peek here. I'm just going to scroll up. I know. Okay, Fatima, thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy, Fatima. Fatima would like to know, will I be having a new beginning in my life with career, relocation, love life? Everything is stagnant in my life right now. Will Fatima be having a new beginning? Yes. Yes. The best medicine, getting the real scoop, connect to new possibilities, transition smoothly. Yes. We got a double yes, my friend. Yes. What is that? A big juicy steak. The best medicine, getting the real scoop. So yes, career relocation, love life. So that was my first thought was we see the bridge here. Like there is a bridge. There's going to be traveling. There's going to be you are going to be moving on. There's something that's going to be a gap filled. And as far as you moving, the answer is yes. A relocation and your career. Let's ask a little bit more about career for Fatima, please. Will Fatima have new beginnings with career, please? Career, please. Career, please, for Fatima. Thank you. No, not able to proceed, closed to negotiations. Okay, so it may be that you're staying with the same, doing what you're doing now, but you may have, let me just, let me get my cards, some more cards, hold on. I was really drawn to these cards. Let me grab these real quick. They're stuck in the box. Ah. All right, we're back to the quirky Mia. She's back. Teaching Mia is gone. As you guys know, I have ADD. I have ADHD. I either hyperfocus or I don't focus at all, and I'm all over the place. So thanks for bearing with me, you guys. I get a little hyperfocused. I get so excited when I'm teaching tarot, teaching anything. I love to learn, love to teach. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what is happening around me. Okay, so Spirit is saying that you need to take some time for yourself and really focus on raising your vibration and focus on what it is that you want to be doing in this career of yours, that in this career advancement or this career change. But I do feel like it's going to be the same career, but I do feel like you have to put in the work to raise your vibration to manifest this new career or this new position that you're wanting. But I do feel that there's definite movement, and I do feel like there's some gaps that need to be filled before you can move on, or you're going to have a change, before you have a change of career. Let's get these cards here. What else would you like Fatima to know, please? What else would you like Fatima to know, please? What else would you like Fatima to know, please? So we got the Three of Pentacles there. A lot of teamwork. Okay, I'm feeling like you are good at what you do. And I'm hearing like follow your passion, stay positive. And you're putting in the hard work, but it's kind of, I'm feeling like there's someone that's going to be helping you go. Hold on, I just dropped a bunch of cards, and here we have the High Priestess. So definitely tap into your higher self, okay? Call upon your angels and your spirit guides. And I'm feeling like there's a lot of teamwork, and I'm feeling like you know what you need to do, and there's a knowledge. There's something that you need to learn that's going to, yes, and that's going to fill that gap, that bridge, okay? There's some learning you're going to be doing, and the High Priestess is a major arcana, so this is something that you're going to be going through, and it's also like asking you to tap into your intuition and follow your instincts, and I'm really feeling like you're going to either be going back to school or you're going to be learning something new that's going to help you in this new job change or this new career or moving up higher in what you're doing. But it's definitely a teamwork. And it could even be teamwork with your spiritual team. Yes. Yes. What is the potential outcome for Fatima, please? Potential outcome for Fatima. Thank you. We have the Tower. So something's going to come along and just completely shake you up. And it's going to be something I'm feeling very like it's definitely spiritual, and your spiritual team, your spiritual spirit guides, okay? And that's why you're not able to proceed. You're being asked to learn more about yourself. And again, something is, there's a tower moment here. There's going to be something that's going to just completely rock your world and change everything. It's that destruction before rebuild. And it's something that's going to be really bringing this abundance for you. But it's going to bring you to this new learning, whatever it is that you're going to be learning. Then we get the moon. We have, oh, look at all of these major arcanas that we have for you. We have the high priestess, the tower, and the moon. So yes, it's something that with you, for yourself, like it's something, there's some emotions, there's some shadow work that you need to do for yourself, okay, before you can move forward. I'm really feeling like you need to take some time for yourself and go within. And there's a lot of high emotions. Like, I'm feeling like a lot of emotions, like really, like in my heart, I feel like I just like got punched in the chest, like you've been crying, or you've been you're really hurt. Like, you're going through the tower moment right now. You're going through and Spirit is saying to take some time for yourself and do what's right. And I'm being drawn to, I'm seeing them as like pomegranates, and it's going to be pomegranates are just like abundance, right? And it's going to bring this abundance for you in this new job, but you're going to have a lot of learning. I do feel like this tower moment is going to be what's bringing on to you to look inside, to take off that mask, and to really see what it is and who you truly are. Yeah, and then we got the Three of Wands. It's going to be something, we've got the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. So yes, it's definitely follow your heart, okay? All of this is just saying follow your heart and follow your passion and follow your intuition. That's all of this is saying, that you need to go within, take some time for yourself. And you're like, I keep hearing like you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. Yeah. But things are going to be good, okay? Because I do feel like it's going to be a very, a very abundant, once you have this realization, when you realize your true authentic self and you start working with, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. You're holding on too tight. Okay. Yeah, your heart chakra. Yeah. You really, Spirit's just saying, Nine of Swords, just all that anxiety keeping you up at night, stressing you out. Take some time. I can feel you're stressed. You're overwhelmed right now, and Spirit is really, you know what? Let's get you an affirmation, because I'm really feeling that you need. Let's get you a healing. Where am I healing? Okay, there we are. All right, let's get you a healing oracle. What would you like Fatima to know, please? Elevation. I free myself from fear, trust the universe. I direct my thoughts to beauty inside and around me. I use my spiritual strengths and knowledge to create light, and I rise above all doubt. So yes, this is exactly 100% what this reading is saying, okay? I free myself from fear and trust the universe. I direct my thought to the beauty inside and all around me. I use my spiritual strengths and knowledge to create light, and I rise above all doubt. And that is exactly the essence of this, and the vibration and everything of this entire reading here, okay? So it's definitely to raise that vibration. In order for you to move forward, you need to take that time for yourself. Wow. Okay, we'll clear these out. All right. Thank you so much, Fatima, for allowing me to tap into your energy. I'm going to go ahead and close these out. And then check the chat and see where we're at. Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Oh, also, I'm going to add the Truman Show to my movie list, you guys. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I thought about it the other night. I was like, oh yeah, I have to do the Truman Show. All right, I'm just going to close these out here. All right. All right, I'm going to take a second to check the chat if you guys are still with me. All right, wow, I am like way behind. The healer says she does have the best tarot page. Thank you, the healer. I'm currently unemployed. Fatima, healing light to you. Yes, much, much light to you. Love and light. Fatima, thank you. You're very welcome, Fatima. Very, very welcome. Hatchet boys, this is very interesting. I'm enjoying this. Oh, good. Okay, I was worried I was boring you guys because like there's so much more that I skipped through. So yeah, there's just tons. There's so much information out there, and I have all my books. There's even books here that I didn't even break. I mean, I have them like. Here's a really good book, you guys. Oh, we're trying to kind of switching gears here. I don't see any questions in the chat, so we'll kind of chat for a second. But I have, it's also on the CIA website, CIA.gov, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. And so, like, there's tarot in here, and it's such a great, I have some videos on this book that we're breaking down. I'm doing, so analysis of tarot cards. So this is a fun little book. Not little, but here's tarot cards here. I don't know if you guys can see that there. So this is called The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and this is a really good esoteric. It has all kinds of interesting, fun information in here. The symbolism, animals and symbols, and astrology, and Rosicrucians, and alchemy, the chemical marriage, Shakespeare, cryptogram, Freemasonic symbolism, ceremonial magic and sorcery, the wonders of antiquity, Pythagorean mathematics, the human body and symbolism. I did a video on that one. So yeah, so there's fishes and insects. So this is a fun book. If you guys, this is a good one. And then also, what's another one? Here's a fun book. This is a good book here. It's called the Llewellyn Complete Book of Psychic Empowerment, and it has a lot of fun, interesting. I pulled some out to kind of show you guys as I was going through my presentation, but I didn't get to all of it. But anyways, it goes over handwriting and palmistry, and it has everything, so much stuff. So I have a ton of books. I've got like so many. Like, and then we have this one here. The history, magic, witchcraft of the occult, and so I tried to get some books here for. And then here I think I had the Wizard of Oz. I had some pages already, but I just got so into the presentation that I forgot that I had them. So, anyways, so this is these are just some. I have tons of books, and I just was wanted to share with you guys if there's anything that you guys wanted to see, and then myths and legends, and then. We have the occult book here, Chronological Journey of Alchemy and Wicca, Origin of Tarot. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys some pictures. Then they have the Rider-Waite deck. So yeah, so these are just some fun, just some books I wanted to bring out. I have a lot more. I just wanted to have something to show for the presentation. But it is what it is. All right. So if you are new here, please do let us know in the chat so we can give you a proper hello. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? I'm so glad to know that, Hatchet Boys, you're feeling better and you're on the mend. So glad to have you with us today. Thank you so much to all the mods in the chat. I don't see any questions in the chat there. We can do let's do a quick guess the card, and then we'll say goodbye if there's no other questions. So let's just shuffle real quick, and then we'll do a guess the card, and you guys start focusing and let me know what you think, if it's a major arcana, a minor arcana, a specific suit, any colors, any symbols, if there's a person, a number, anything like, oh, I guess this one wants to be. Okay, go ahead and drop your guess in the chat. What do we have today? What do we think the card is? And in the meantime, while we're waiting for people to drop their guesses, I will just let the new people know that I do have Cash App, Metaphysical Mia 33. If just smashing that like button is plenty for me, but if you feel like leaving a tip, of course, no obligation. Just that energy exchange of smashing that like button and sharing this message out or subscribing, all that good stuff. There's also full playlists of timeless tarot readings on my channel and other deep dives and energy check-ins and collective messages, how to know you're going through a spiritual awakening, how to know you're an empath, intuition, all that good stuff. And you can also find me on Instagram and X as Instagram. I am Metaphysical Mia 33. Let's see, X, it's Mystic Mia 33. Everything else is Metaphysical 33. You can reach me Gmail, Metaphysical Mia 33 at Gmail. So, yeah. All right, so newbie me, Page of Pentacles. Oh wow, very specific. Hatchet Boys, Wands, and Elvis says Queen of Wands. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, we have to do our. Oh my God, we got the wands. So Hatchet Boys, you're spot on with the wands, and Elvis, you get it too. Awesome. Good job, you guys. Whoop whoop. Your round of applause. All right. Any other questions in the chat? If not, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you all. Drum roll, yes. Just my chat's a little slow. I don't know why. I think it's it's a little slow. I think you guys are probably about 20 seconds behind. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to say goodbye to you all. I hope you enjoyed the extensive run through of the full card. Next week we will do the Magician, and eventually we're going to get through the entire deck of the tarot deeply, and hopefully we'll all get connected with it and be able to read for ourselves so we don't even need me anymore, right? So again, if you are new here, please do let us know in the chat. Please like and subscribe, share this video, spread the positive vibes. And for my regulars, thank you so much for your continued support. You guys are seriously the heart of this channel. I really look forward to seeing you guys in the chat there. It really warms my heart and brings me lots of joy. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Remember to keep an open mind, stay positive, stay curious, and stay connected. I'm going to leave us in the frequency of love. Love you guys. Bye. See you Thursday, 3:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Love you guys. Bye.